Luke Short, a name synonymous with both elegance and courage, is an exceptional figure who has left an indelible mark on the history of the Wild West. He survived several gunfights, the most famous of which were the one held against Charlie Storms in Tombstone, Arizona Territory, and the one against Jim Courtright in Fort Worth, Texas. In this video, we delve into the life of Luke Short, a remarkable gentleman gunfighter who embodies honor and indomitable spirit in the American West. Luke Lamar Short was an American Old West gunfighter, cowboy, U.S. Army scout, dispatch writer, gambler, boxing promoter, and saloon owner. Luke Short's journey began in Polk County, Arkansas, where he was born in January 1854, the fifth child of Josiah Washington Short and Hetty Brumley. With a family of 9 siblings, they eventually moved to Montague County, Texas. Tragedy struck when young Luke witnessed his father being ambushed and attacked by Comanches in their yard. Though wounded by arrows and spears, Luke bravely supports his brother by retrieving a rifle, helping his brother and father defend their home. At the age of 13, Luke was said to be the antithesis of his school bully, often getting into fights, which led to his father's decision to move him to Fort Worth. Luke, just 15 years old, found a job as a cowboy, a profession he would keep until 1875. During this time, he took frequent trips to Kansas, where he joined the locomotives. Among the stories surrounding Luke Short, Bat Masterton records that Short killed 6 drunken Sioux Indians at various times. Although these stories have been retold by subsequent writers, no concrete evidence has been found to support these particular incidents. However, records indicate that Luke participated in more than 30 battles against the Indians while working for the government. Luke's first encounter with the Indians occurred in 1869 when he worked as a scout for General George Crook. During the Sioux Rebellion of 1876, Luke was stationed in the Black Hills. It was during one of his customary expeditions that a group of 15 Indians ambushed him, shooting at him with rifles. Showing his quick reflexes, Luke quickly drew his gun and retaliated, eliminating the 3 attackers. Despite several Indians continuing to pursue him on horseback, Luke managed to destroy 2 more enemies before reaching safety. Short moved to Leadville, Colorado in 1879, where he continued to gamble. Bat Masterton later wrote that Short fatally wounded a man during a gambling dispute in Leadville. He was accused of defrauding Texan John Jones out of $280 on 3-card Monte, and was jailed October 5th for 6 days in Kansas City. Short first met Wyatt Earp, William H. Harris, and Bat Masterton in the town of Tombstone. Harris, capitalizing on their close friendship, had no trouble persuading his partners to send Earp an invitation to join them as a faro dealer at the Oriental Saloon in Tombstone. On Friday, February 25, 1881, while on his sentry duty, Short was sitting next to the dealer during a game of faro at the Oriental. He is then embroiled in a famous gunfight, pitted against his opponent. Charlie Storms is one of the most famous gamblers in the whole West and has successfully defended himself in gunfights with Western gunmen many times. Notably, Masterton, present in Tombstone at the time, recounted the events of the conflict in a journal article written in 1907. Storms did not know Short, and like the bad man in Leadville, had sized him up as an insignificant-looking fellow whom he could slap in the face without expecting a return. Both were about to pull their pistols when I jumped in between them and grabbed Storms, at the same time requesting Luke not to shoot, a request I knew he would respect if it was possible without endangering his own life too much. I had no trouble in getting Storms out of the house, as he knew me to be his friend. As I was just explaining to Luke that Storms was a very decent sort of man, when, lo and behold, there he stood before us, without saying a word. He took hold of Luke's arm and pulled him off the sidewalk, where he had been standing, at the same time pulling his pistol, a Colt cut-off .45 caliber single action. But like the lead villain, he was too slow. Although he succeeded in getting his pistol out, Luke stuck the muzzle of his pistol against Storm's heart and pulled the trigger. The bullet tore the heart asunder, and as he was falling, Luke shot him again. Storms was dead when he hit the ground. After Storm's body was taken to the funeral home, a coroner's jury was assembled to review the evidence and hear testimony. Considering the facts presented, the jury declared Storms dead, alleging that his death was caused by a pistol shot from Short's hand. Furthermore, the jury found that Short's actions were justified in the face of impending danger. As a result, no legal proceedings were initiated, returning Short to his liberty. Just 5 days after the Storm's tragic end, an article published by the Leadville Democrat shed light on the shooting. According to reports, the Storms confronted Short and strongly demanded an apology. Witnesses reported that Storms grabbed Short's ear with his left hand while swinging a pistol aimed at Short with his right hand. Quickly reacting to the impending threat, Short drew his own gun and fired at Storms, who returned fire but missed. Short then placed 2 more bullets in Storm. In the spring of 1883, Luke formed a partnership with the Harris and Beeson of Dodge City and ran the Long Branch Saloon, the largest and highest-paid gambling house in Dodge at the time. The mayor of Dodge, named Webster, also runs a gambling house and pub next to the one run by Short. At this time, the city of Dodge was a hub for transporting Texas cattle each summer from the great herds of the West Texas to the markets of the North. On the evening of February 8, 1887, another conflict broke out between Luke Short and Jim Courtright regarding Courtright's insistence on Luke's base money for protection. Frustrated and agitated, Courtright abruptly left the pub, returning only moments later with 2 pistols clearly hidden in his pocket. He vehemently urges Short to step out, while Jake Johnson, a mutual acquaintance, tries to defuse the situation. Short meets 2 men outside and talks about their dispute as they walk across the street. However, the group suddenly stopped in front of Ella Blackwell's photography gallery. Standing at a distance of about 3 or 4 meters, Courtright suddenly appeared with a gun on his body. No time was wasted exchanging words as the men faced each other. Both drew pistols at the same time, but as usual, Short fired first, and a bullet from his Colt .45 caliber pistol pierced Courtright. The shock sent him reeling backwards. Then he took another one, and when his lifeless body hit the floor, Luke successfully shot him 5 times. The gunfight became famous due to the reputations of both men. Courtright's funeral was attended by hundreds of Fort Worth residents. Meanwhile, Luke is quickly apprehended by the deputy sheriff, which takes him straight to the county jail, where he is held for the rest of the night. The next day, Luke was presented to a judge who held him in custody, pending further consideration by a grand jury in exchange for a nominal bail. Ultimately, the case came to an end when the grand jury, after assessing the evidence presented, refused to indict Luke on the grounds that it was a legitimate murder case. When things settled, he went to Kansas, where he married Hattie Buck in Oswego, Kansas on March 15, 1887. Finally, Short died at the Gilbert House in Guaydas Springs on September 8, 1893. The local newspaper reported, "Luke Short died at Gilbert this morning of ascites." Short's funeral took place in Fort Worth on September 10, 1893. The carriages lined up for more than a mile following Short's body to Oakwood Cemetery in Fort Worth.
Please like and share if you find the video content interesting and useful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment below so as not to miss the upcoming interesting videos. Thanks for watching.